Welcome back. Welcome back to Songs of SYX, to our beautiful Cretonian city, our Cretonian town here. I have a lot to go over. This episode is going to be about trade. I had recorded a long episode about trade, going in detail about how trade works and etc. But the problem is my recording settings were not on properly, and basically the whole video had a bunch of glitches, not allowing you to guys see the actual clean, crisp graphics that is Songs of SYX. So I went back, deleted it, and here I am recording again. So this is in the future after I've already done all the work and I've already done the recording. So I'm just going to do a quick synopsis on trade, how the town is working, where we've gone with the town, and kind of the ultimate goals for where you're at in this point of the city. You can see we have 233 native Cretonians, 243 total. Those are babies, 11 of them are babies. You can see that our children are underneath 3 years old. Everyone here is a child underneath there, and they are being born here. I turned the other breeder off because there was too many Cretonians coming at a time, and I simply just could not keep up with the food. We have a exorbitant amount of money. So the way that my money system works is a lot of my stuff is sold to my neighbor, the one with the most money, Winonia, whatever. I can't, Winonia. It's a weird name. And I sell them straight just wood to start off to get money. So I'll clear cut everything. You can see the settings here. It says export when warehouse stock is above 10% of total capacity at 951. So anything above 951, there will be a guy who's grabbing wood from a warehouse or wherever, and he's putting it here. That doesn't necessarily mean that you will sell it immediately. You can see that the sold amount here is how much is already available there, and that's been sold. There'll be a little trader guy. He'll be coming down the road, probably somewhere around here, and he will come and actually pick up those goods and take them to his region. Wow, we've actually built this whole road. I didn't think that they got this done. We have this whole road done there. So for the most part, I have roads throughout the city. I spent a long time decorating, putting in lots of different fences and walls to blockade people from walking in weird ways. So you can see they're all being funneled into the right direction. And that's kind of how I want the Cretonians to work. I don't want them walking off to weird directions. So after we got the wood sale going here, we were immediately able to import grain. So we started importing grain, and it's 8 a pop for grain. With that, I'm able to turn it into roughly 24 or 22 a pop. We take the grain, we turn it into some bread, then we sell all the excess bread that we don't need for our food stocks. So you can see I'm setting it at anything above 2,800. We currently aren't that high right now because we've been eating a lot and our people are growing. So we need to actually get more bakeries going. And eventually I think I'm going to have a dedicated baker zone. We have a lot of map to work with, and I ideally like to fill it up as much as possible. Hopefully lots and lots of tight-knit housing in here, as there's going to be tons of farming along the coastal area. And you can see we have opiates, so we're making opiates. We're also getting herbs and cotton. These are the cotton farms, and these are the herb farms. I made them go as far as they possibly could into this area here. And then they're being exported from here. This is the opiate one, this is the herb, and this is the cotton. I just changed them so that the herbs can be built up a little bit so I can make another field for them, and the same with the opiates, so I have a little bit of spare opiates to make more fields so that I can get more money overall. We have a warehouse dedicated to specifically those resources right next to it with only one delivery man. I don't need a lot of delivery men because these guys right here will also, the farmers will pull stuff and bring it to here when they're done. So this is their farming warehouse. This is the general goods warehouse where clay miners and clay pit workers will bring clay here, as well as the potters will bring their pottery here, and the excess pottery will be sold here. So you can see we already have a lot of things being sold. I make so much money that I have to spend it, or else my neighbors will get very unhappy. So I spend it on metal. I purchase tools. I keep a small stockpile of tools which I use for farming. And then I also have imports for alcohol and machine parts. You can see machine parts are being used to keep these water parts or water pumps running. We also have a ton of leather armor that just came in because we captured our neighbor. We sent some mercenaries after him just so that no one would take that land from us before I was ready. So when it comes to trade, you have two options. You can use these trade, import, or export depots, or you could go into factions here and you can actually go straight to their diplomacy menu. So there's court, realm, goods, boost, and diplomacy. Goods simply just gives you a list of all of their goods and how much each thing is worth. So the base price here is 20 for clay. They're willing to sell it for 24 and they're willing to buy it for 15, which isn't bad. So if we wanted to sell clay, we could. Ideally, you want to build up a stockpile of resources so that you're not constantly flooding the market. So we've been selling wood for a while at 18. You can see the toll and the tariff costs it down to 18 from 22, which technically should be 23, but 22. So we are losing 4 denarii each wood, but that's perfectly fine because wood grows and you can cut it down as much as you'd like. Where every other thing is kind of hard to come by, wood is simple and very easy to come by. And all you have to do is just terraform, go to there and cut down a bunch of trees, cut down everything in your general area here. And they will get to doing that. And for the most part, I think selling wood is the best way to play. If you're struggling and you cannot play this game, sell wood. Even if you're Dundarians, even if you're Garthimes, whoever you are, if you're Garthimes and you live in a mountain or a Dundarian and you live in a mountain, sell stone. There is so much stone that by the point you actually care about stone or you need it for stuff, you'll have regions that are sending it to you anyways. And you'll have so much stone that you'll never think about it. So sell it now, make money, and get the stuff that you need for later, like these water pumps. So I was able to free up 8 guys here and 8 guys here. That's a total of 16 total workers that aren't working here, because there's 4 that aren't working on either of these pumps. So that's 16 total guys that aren't working on water pumps, but I still have access to pools or ponds in each one of my houses or my housing complexes. You can see these lavatories also have access to it. So speaking of which, I actually think now is a good time to focus on trying to get my lavatory up so that I can get a bathhouse. So at this point in the city build, you just kind of want to focus on keeping your people happy. My people are extremely beyond happy. Like, there's nothing that can bother them because they're native. Their environment is near perfect. They have access to pretty much everything they ever could need. Space is something that's kind of ambiguous. I don't know what counts for open space here. Like, there's no real, like, option for that. So I'm just assuming that wide open spaces. But for trade, just keep trading these little resources here so that you can pump up the other resources like this. So ideally, if you're a race that likes food or bread, if you're a Dundarian, importing grain here and exporting bread is probably one of your best bets at making tons and tons of money. You could do any product though. Just get used to selling things in Songs of SYX and you'll be fine. The key, in my opinion, is to not import too much. So currently I have a lot of things being imported. If, for example, I was to change the size of this or upgrade it, that would also change the amount of things that are being imported. So if I raise this up by 2, I would immediately import double what I'm currently importing for iron, which will cost me a good amount more. You can see that machine parts are worth 2,230. That is exorbitant. I only spend that because we can. We are making far more money than we actually need. So I'm trying to keep our neighbors happy by lowering our value and spending money on their products. Basically, and prolonging the inevitable when they get mad at me and want to go to war. Regardless, I hope you guys kind of learned something or two. I know this is a short one. I obviously mentioned in the beginning that I had done all of the work prior, all of the building, all of the decorations, all of that stuff has been done. And I apologize for the poor influx of videos recently. There's been just a bunch of stuff going on in the background between me spending time with my girlfriend, taking care of my animals, all kinds of stuff, and work, of course. So don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm still here, but I do appreciate you guys who are sticking it out and being patient for the next content. I will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Say goodbye to Aka Gold Splitter, the Dundarian delivery man. Cretonian delivery man. I fucked it up already. Goodbye, Aka.